So for the president, the people that you think about every day, ready? You want to blackmail you, anybody that don't want to vote for us, will not be blackmailed. Anybody that will ask me for money because they're going to declare for my party. I rather get money to speak to them on the table now, they're going on air, you rather somebody want to kill somebody. Yes, sir. But you forget to know that those that you killed already, the people that maybe they're going to be it's not so you cannot go and say somebody want to assassinate you. Who are you? That's what I was going here. Because nobody want to work for you. You manipulate people every day. You give that. Are you valuable?
So how can you say that you want to rescue something? Why? What? I need to find out what they want to rescue. I think they want to rescue themselves. And I want to take my time to start to say so many things. I want to say one thing. This team that they are putting together on their side, Waika Kunti. One of the 5 and not well. So I just want to ask you one question, your press people. God forbid people elect Vice President Waika as president. He dies, who will be president? So we're going to make Prince Johnson president?
Okay, folks. Good morning to you. Good morning from Liberia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all those of you watching us from around the world. Today is the 14th day of June, 2023. So Wednesday is midweek as well. Yeah, so we've gone 3 days of the working week. And then when Thursday comes up, on Wednesday, when Wednesday arrives or when it's Wednesday, it lets them know that only Thursday they've got in between to hit Friday, the jolly day and the beginning of the weekend. Good morning again. Welcome to you wherever you're joining us from. According to BBC weather, today we should expect it to be a drizzly day. It says drizzle and a gentle breeze, from 8 a.m. this morning to 9 a.m. It's forecasted to be cloudy, but with no rain. So from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. this morning, according to BBC weather, the forecast is cloudy with no rain. From 10 a.m. this morning, though it still will remain cloudy, but we should expect drizzles, light drizzles of rain. That is what we should expect from 10 a.m. this morning to 12 midday. And then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., we should expect it to be cloudy with little or no rain at all. From 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., sunny, bright as well. It's going to be bright, clear skies from 5 to 6. And then from 7 up to 11 p.m. At 11 p.m., we should expect some thundery showers up till Thursday morning. So there you have it for the weather, little or no rain at all. Light drizzles expected throughout the country. Humidity is at 94%. Visibility is moderate. So to all of our drivers, to all of our vehicle users out there, make sure that you always have your fog light on so that other vehicles know that you're on the road as well, so they be aware of your presence. Don't go putting on your high beam to show that you get bright light. Now who get the brightest light competition? You can do it in the night, you like to do it in the day. All right, so let me say good morning to Emmanuel David. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Well, I'm fine this morning, and bless God for life. It's always a pleasure and an opportunity to be here, and I see it as a blessing. It's a privilege to be here every morning because, once there's life, there is hope, and we have to keep moving. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going, so we have to keep focused and be persistent in what we do.
Okay, there you have it, the philosopher. Yeah, so Liberia is an interesting country. Look, I love being a Liberian. People say, oh, Liberia, we've got challenges. Being a Liberian is a tough thing. Look, if you are a Liberian, it lets you know that the reason you shouldn't go to hell. Yes. And if you manage to go to hell, you will be able to survive. You will be able to. Not that I'm encouraging you to go to hell, but you will be able to survive to a larger extent. Let me tell you one reason. If you can drive in Liberia without shouting for one day, if you're not shouting, but you talking to yourself or you doing something else, if you're able to do it just to drive in Liberia for a day, I don't say for 1 month, I say just for 1 day, without shouting, without saying something that I don't want to say on the radio, but something that is not nice, without talking to yourself, wondering in your head like what's going on with this other person, this keke rider or this motorbike operator or this other vehicle operator. Without that, if you just able that challenge, if you just able to do it for 1 day, then once you can drive here, I'm telling you, to go America and drive and other places where they follow road traffic rules and the traffic signs and all of those things, it'll be a walk in the park for you. So Liberia is the training camp, the training ground. Once you're able to make it here, you can make it anywhere. You can make it anywhere. So like our training ground here. Don't go to hell. I'm not saying you should go to hell, but if you manage some way, somehow, and allow yourself to go there, you'll be able to make it. And Liberia is also dramatic. This country, I keep saying it. I know why those that can do films, why they can't just come to Liberia, the Netflix, the rest of the Paramount productions, and even our local Liberian productions, and just take their cameras and go on the street and just do reality drama, reality series. They would not need any script. Not at all. Like yesterday, people saying, oh, John Palmer waits on John Rice, children endorsing their father, choir members endorse their pastor. Come on, man. You expect the people to go out and endorse another person when they've got their own candidate in the race? When campaign money is at stake? When writing, whether you call the president's popularity diminishing or however adjective you want to use to describe it, when bringing those over 50 lawmakers, let me tell you something. They come and start jostling. For how and when, who is going to take the president to their district. That's what they're going to start jostling over now, because everybody will want a piece of President Weah while he's fighting his own battle. They're saying, oh, Prezo, we'll fight for your re-election. Count how many of them are going for re-election as well. So it's a you use me, I use you kind of thing. Yeah, it's a you use me, I use you kind of thing. Look at it. When a staunch supporter of the CDC is graduating, they will put their graduation picture on the left. No, they'll put the president picture on the right. Then they put their graduation picture on the left. They'll crop it and upload it. If it is their birthday, they'll put the president picture on the left. Then they put a picture. Like two of them celebrating the same birthday. Yeah, they'll put a picture together and say, today is my birthday. That can be one day I be asking myself, but what is President Weah doing? What is President Weah doing on your birthday? Is it his birthday? So this lets you know that the CDC lawmakers had no other option. That program in itself was a statement and a warning. We're already hearing that people wanted to, deflect. People wanted to move to the other side. People wanted to wrap it. So they said, come, all of you. You can sign a document that you will support the preso. But they are now going to give the preso a lot of headache. A lot. Because trust me, almost each and every one of those lawmakers, except for those that are not up for re-elections, like the senators, few senators there, they're not up for re-election. Edwin Melvin Snow is not up for re-election now anytime soon until 2029. Zoe Emmanuel Peno is not up for election until 2029. Emmanuel Nukwe is not up for election until 2029. Apart from those who are not up for re-election, the rest of those guys, Prezo, I remember someone a story growing up as a kid. They said they went to the wedding and Sparrow had too many places to go to. Too many places to go to. Too many parties. So they had to horn you. President, don't let them make you like that. To horn you. Papa, you need to be in my district. Papa, you know I pledge my support to you. You have to be here. Papa, you need to be in my county. I'm running for my senatorial seat. You know, you need to be here. No. Everybody down there going cry their own cry. The only thing they will do is to ride on it. But everybody, except for those who are not up for re-election, going cry their own cry. They will ask yourself this question: are they going to push more the president's re-election bid or their own re-election bid in their district or their county? They will just chip in small and use small project that the president has been able to achieve in their counties and in their districts, as a means to ride the wave. So they want that the endorsement, but we'll get more on that. So this morning I had a call. This morning about 7 a.m. Thereabout. Somebody called me and said, Diamond, people need to talk about this USD rate thing this morning on the show. The rate is skyrocketing in my community. The person called from Dupont Road, and the person said, in my community, the rate now is 180 Liberian dollars, equivalent to $1 United States dollar. So if you do the conversion at 5 USD, that's 900 Liberian dollars. And this is also affecting the prices of commodities in my community. So I want you guys to bring this up on the show and let's talk about it a bit. Then I said, okay, I will do that in my sleepy, grumpy voice. No, I was already at work by that time. I said, we'll do that. But let me rejoin Emmanuel, who had a little technical difficulty, but he's back now. Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
Morning to you again.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah.
I had a little technical glitch, so I had to go off.
Okay. It's good that you're back. You're back. Just a 10 minutes. I'm back. Yeah. So before we proceed with the show and everything else in between, we'll go to the phone lines. And I want to say happy birthday to a good friend and brother, Daxinos Twa, alias Strong Man. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Happy birthday to you, Strong Man. Strong Man is a good friend from the Spoon Network. We'd love to say happy birthday to you. He's an ardent follower of Spoon Network as well. We'd love to say happy birthday to you, Strong Man. Enjoy your day. Wish you all of the best. To everybody else celebrating their birthday, I might not know your name, but I wish you happy birthday as well. Have for yourselves a wonderful, wonderful time. Emmanuel's birthday is up and loading.
On the 17th.
On the 17th. Let hold your birthday for now. So we'll open the phone lines for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Please, don't get all laying out in your room rates. If you haven't experienced it, please don't get all false information. What we want to know is, for just 5 minutes, what's the current exchange rate in your area or anywhere that you've gone to change money? It might not necessarily be your area, but you might have gone to another community or another place, and you did take a glance at the USD rate in that community. What is the current USD rate that you've seen or from your community? And then you tell us the price of a 25 kg bag of rice, because the person, it was an elderly lady. I said, I she got my number, but anyway, my number is out there. It was an elderly lady, and she said they're buying rice now for over 3,200 Liberian dollars. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? All right, so just 5 minutes quickly. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. What's the current USD rate?
I'm calling from Wilshire Market.
Okay. You said from where?
Wilshire Market.
Oh. All right. What's the rate there?
Number.
That's 180. Okay, so the rate is 900 Liberian dollars to $1 United States dollar. 0777-1075, 0555-101075. So Okay. Jonathan Kameh says the rate in his area is 179. Which area, Jonathan? Just put the name of the area as well. So Tosia Junior Frank Chelibo Jr. says Dupo Road Market, the rate is 180. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. Where are you calling us from, sir? And what's the rate at your area?
I'm calling from Providence this morning. The rate is 900.
900, that's 180, right?
Yeah.
So 180 from Broadville. All right, thank you. Okay, from Broadville, 180. From Dupo Road, we're hearing 180 as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Your name? And let's hear you. What's the rate in your area?
I'm Abraham Blama and I'm joining from Plaza.
Okay.
The current rate in Plaza now is 181.5.
181.5.
Yes.
So why they put a 0.5 there, they can get you the 5 hour, the 50 cents?
When you change it like $10 per
Mm-hmm.
$5 will be added to the money.
Okay. So Broadville, 181.5. Okay, thank you. Thank you for calling. All right, so Jonathan says the rate is 179 Boulevard, 72nd Boulevard. Let's take this person quickly. Good morning.
Good morning, Dama.
Morning, sir. What's the current rate at your area?
Lord David Johnson calling from Nafa.
Okay.
The rate on the road at 900.
So 180. 180 from Bernard's Farm.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. But what the price of rice now? For that area, when the last time you bought rice?
I'm not selling rice. I'm selling.
So what the rate has affected your cement price? What's the price of cement?
Yeah, so now we'll go buy the US again. Tell 185 to buy the US. So now we have to convert it at the cement level. So we sell for 1,375.
1,375.
Yeah.
That is $7.50 or $8.
$7.50.
$7.50 at the rate of 180.
185.
185. So when people bring in LD, they bring 185.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So there you have it. So once the rate is inflicted, the prices of commodities will also be inflicted as well. So that was just to give you a gist. And the Central Bank of Liberia says the rate is currently at 170. And the CBL tells you that they do not set the rate. They do a survey. If you go to their page, their official pages, they do a survey from commercial banks, forex bureaus, and other financial institutions to come up with the average rate. So they're saying it's 170, but out there on the streets, it's 180, 181, 175. And this is affecting commodity prices, Emmanuel.
Certainly.
This is because if I'm taking 185 Liberian dollars to $1 to go and get something in USD, meaning I need to take more money. More money. And if I'm going to buy and I'm coming to sell at retail, I will add my profit there as well. And the money that I spent, end users will have to pay more. So if we see drivers will start to begin increasing transportation fares, and you go to the market, you start to see $1 or 50 cents added over something. Just get to know. So somebody says, Jeremiah Cooper says the rate in Baton in Bombing County is 172. Jeremiah L. Flomo says in Voca Mission that I'm texting you from, the rate is 177. Edward Colette says the rate in Mount Barclay community is 180. Siaka Masale says we need to forget about USD in Liberia. I'm right now in Dubai. The people don't even get time for USD. Please, we need to do the same, man. I'm following from Dubai, brother. Okay, so by law, Liberia is a dual currency state.
Dual currency, we have the USD and
Yes.
we have the Liberian dollars.
And
we are too used to the USD. There are more people who don't even love to hold the Liberian dollars, Dama.
You know why? We have not been able to, as a country, because we have said we can use both currencies at the same time. We have not differentiated what the Liberian dollar should be used for and when you can use USD. That is what is our problem. And again, we don't really have a well-controlled forex market.
Sure enough.
If we had a controlled forex market where you have to go to only registered forex bureaus, those are just a few to mention. There are a lot that comes to play. But let's talk about this a bit, Emmanuel. You can come in with your points when I'm done with this. If we said in Liberia, that small, petty, small, and medium-sized purchases will only be done in Liberian dollars. For international trade and very large, transactions like we see in other countries, you can use internationally accepted currencies like the USD. If we were able to have achieved that, because we don't have a control over our forex market. So anybody, I can get out today. My office pay me LD. I get vest. I say, okay. Say my office pay me LD, but I want USD. I say, I want picking on the road. I gain the money. I say, you know what? Change at the rate of 182.
Because
I want a US quickly. Change at the rate of 182. You understand? I'm flooding the market. We don't really have a structured forex exchange trade in Liberia that if you go to the forex bureaus that are registered, only they deal in forex. So when they intend go to do business with the central bank or other commercial banks, they bring the rate from there and they come and exchange. So then you can control. But we don't have any of that. We don't. So the market is just proliferated. Now we see a scarcity of the USD. We're approaching elections. Many of these businesses are now withholding on the cash. We see the flooding of the market with new Liberian dollar banknotes. So once the Liberian dollar banknotes are so much on the market, and then there is scarcity in the USD, the rate for the exchange rate is definitely going to go up, because now you need more Liberian dollars to get the lesser United States dollars that's on the market. And since we prefer, and many of the businesses, if not all of the businesses, prefer the USD, you end up putting a lot of strain on the Liberian dollars, and the Liberian dollars will be devalued as it is, Emmanuel.
Yeah, as you said initially, I think having some businesses or some areas in our economy that will accept the Liberian dollar will be very valuable. I have a point. I want to know as to whether there could be an agreement, because you have more business people going Nigeria to buy goods. You have more people going in Togo to buy goods, and these are people who really want the US. I don't know as to whether our central bank can get in alignment with those other countries to have, a collaboration of exchange currency. So if I have my Liberian dollars and I want to go in Togo to buy goods, I will have a rate, that I can get along that will be much better, that I can get my goods. But if that is not done, I think we will continue to have these things, because the business people, these are the people who really need the US. And you cannot carry the Liberian dollar in other countries to buy. You cannot carry the Liberian dollar in other countries to buy. I think it will be necessary that our banks on this side have some connection with banks in other countries where our business people usually go.
So how do the business people get the money?
So in my mind, I think it will be like this. The banks on this side will have an exchange rate that is in line with bank in places like Togo, that has to do with the Togolese money and the Liberian money.
So what the first thing is, the Liberian currency is not an international currency.
That's why I said
that's the first thing. Agreement. So how then will the bank in Togo value the Liberian dollars at what rate? How then do they exchange the Liberian dollars into the USD or their currency at what rate? And what becomes of the physical cash in that process? Are you going to take the money?
No,
let's assume
you will not carry the money with you. You will not carry, you just need to do a deposit in the Liberian bank with your Liberian dollar, and you have the rate already. Then you can do a transfer.
So what difference is this from what is already happening? Because if I want USD, and I'm to go to Togo, and I don't have the Togolese currency in Liberia, so I have to take USD to Togo to go and exchange at the rate in their country to go and get their currency and purchase. Now, where the control mechanism can start from? Ask yourself, do I prefer to go to the supermarket to buy one chocolate bar for $1 USD, and that $1 is going to be $1? or I take $185 Liberian dollars to the supermarket to go and buy a bar of chocolate. Meanwhile, the rate from the central bank is 170. So I'm adding how much over that money? You understand? I'm adding $15. The more you do that, the more you lose. So at the end of the day, we prefer, because of the more money we have to add on top our local currency, we prefer to always use the USD in transactions. We only take LD to the local market to go and buy. So now, when these local marketers get all of that LD, in order for them to make profit, they'll have to charge you higher, because they're going to take that LD now to whoever their exchange person is, or to whatever bank, or that person is going to now pay more Liberian dollars to get the same value of the USD that is needed. So at the end of the day, we, the end user, suffer.
That's true.
We suffer. So clear forex control mechanism, Emmanuel, is needed.
That's true.
It's needed. And then we need to we agree we can use the USD, but let there be a standard for when you can use USD. I can't go in a store, you go to buy something, then the Lebanese man will tell you, oh, you know what? If you pay in Liberian dollars, you have to bring 190. 190. At 190, and I'm going to buy something for $30. You know how much I'm losing? You know how much I'm losing? So at the end of the day, we want to keep our USD, and then the LD is just going to be floating, and more Liberian dollars, lesser USD, we spend more money. So we need to control that. But at the end of the day, we'll see this rate if we're not careful, especially going to election time, where people come in with truck loads and pick up trunks load of money, LD.
And Damo, I can squarely tell you, if care is not taken for now to July, before we hit the 26th, we'll have a huge rate.
The rate will be high.
Certainly have a huge
so
rate.
Calling on the financial actors, the central bank, the Ministry of Finance, the rest of the people who are charged with this, to start looking at, not just doing mop-up exercises, but also to look at what is going to be a long-lasting solution to this particular problem, because we've been faced with this over and over and over. Remember, the rate was skyrocketing. They had to do mop-up exercise. Now the rate again has gone up again, because it's something that will continue. It's going to be a vicious cycle.
And the issue of that mop-up is not to politicize the entire thing. It's not understanding.
All right, folks, so this is a Today Show. We just needed to touch on that a bit quickly. Let's go quickly now to the flight schedule for the day at the Roberts International Airport. We've talked about the central bank rate already, so there's no need to go over that. So let's go quickly to the flight schedule for the day at the Roberts International Airport, beginning with arrivals today at the RIA. What flights, what airlines are touching in Liberia, touching down, and what airlines are taking off from the RIA today. So let's bring you that particular data quickly, real-time data, so that you be aware. Emmanuel is going to bring us up to speed with county fares. He's been in conversations with drivers, cross-country drivers as well. He's going to bring us what are the prices of distances across Liberia, selected areas today that he will be touching on. So let's bring you the data quickly. From the Roberts International Airport today, flight number Air Peace for arrivals. We're dealing with arrivals first. Flight number Air Peace, flight number P47536 from Accra, Ghana. Is scheduled to arrive in Liberia. That flight was scheduled to arrive at 12:20 a.m. this morning. Royal Air Maroc, flight number AT567 from Casablanca, Morocco. Okay, so Air Peace, flight number P47536, landed in the country at 1:06 a.m. So the estimated time for arrival was at 1:20 a.m., but the flight arrived and touched down in the country at 1:06 a.m. this morning. Air Maroc, Royal Air Maroc, flight number AT567 from Casablanca, Morocco, landed in Liberia at 4:38 a.m. this morning. Estimated time was 4:25 a.m. So that flight touched down a little bit late at 4:38 a.m. this morning. For arrival, still we have Askar Airlines, flight number KP20 from Accra, Ghana, scheduled to arrive in the country at 5:50 p.m. And lastly, for arrivals today is Brussels Airlines flight number SN241 from Freetown, Sierra Leone. That flight is scheduled to arrive in the country at 7:20 p.m. That does it for arrivals. Departures today from the Roberts International Airport, Air Peace flight number P47537. Let me get you real-time data of that flight. I'm sure they departed once they arrived at 1:06 a.m. this morning. They definitely did take off from the Roberts International Airport this morning as well. So that flight was scheduled to depart at 1:30 a.m. this morning from the Roberts International Airport. We'll bring you the real-time data on that. All right. Royal Air Maroc flight number 8567, destination Casablanca, Morocco. That flight was scheduled to depart at 5:52 a.m. this morning. Aska Airlines flight number KP21, destination Accra, Ghana, scheduled to depart Liberia at 7:30 a.m. this morning. We'll give you the real-time data on that once it's loaded, whether or not that flight has departed. And Brussels Airlines flight number SN241, destination Brussels, Belgium, scheduled to depart from the Roberts International Airport at 8:40 p.m. So before Emmanuel comes in with county fares, remember to play the Spoon FM Mega Daily Cash Splash. You need to do that so that you get to win 2,500 Liberian dollars, for yourself. All you need to do is to play by dialing *79 hash. That's all you need to do. And then you click to number 3, which is Spoon FM. Use your 100 Liberian dollars or your 0.70 United States cents to play and stand the chance of winning 2,500 Liberian dollars and more. If you win and you play again and your number is drawn for the second time, which is not so likely, but the more you play, the better your chances of winning. So remember, the code is *79 hash. Click number 3, Spoon FM, and play with your 100 LD or your 0.70 cents. So the data on the flights that departed quickly. So yes, Aska Air KP21 departed at 7:35 a.m. this morning. And I'll get you the other flights as well. Emmanuel, you can go on.
All right, certainly we'll have to get to the county fairs, and it is necessary that we do so because there are people who would like to get a sense of understanding about what is actually unfolding as relates to the fairs. And yesterday, before getting to the fairs, yesterday I was in conversation with some Southeasterner drivers, and they have complained concerning the bad road condition. And just imagine, Damo, a driver on yesterday told me that he left Montserrat County on the 4th of last month. On the 4th of last month to complete a trip. He returned on the 9th of this month due to the bad road.
That's over a month.
Over a month.
A month and 5 days.
Yes. So and they have complained about some stakeholders, especially lawmakers, some eminent individual of the counties, those southeastern areas, usually using the Africa route to get to that various destination, which of course it is unfair to them because they are clothed with the responsibility to make the road passable, that people will be able to pass. And instead of that, the road is deplorable, and to have an access and pass through the road, it is kind of difficult. So the road is not passable. So they are expressing that frustration, and they are absolutely frustrated over the entire situation. So we have a conversation yesterday, and they told me we need to talk about these things on the radio so national government can see to it, at least to make the road passable. Yeah, so their cars can go and come through because you just imagine leaving Montserrat on the 4th and coming back the 9th of the following month. Sometimes they spend 2-3 weeks on the road, just at a point, 1 week to a particular point, a crossing point, because the road is kind of a bar. So let's get to the southeastern region as it relates to transport fares. From Montserrat County to Sando County is 8,500 Liberian dollars. It's just for an individual. For an individual, your bag, all of those things, it's just for you. Perhaps you have a face cap or glasses on your face and your shoes. 8,500 Liberian dollars from Montserrat County to Sando County. And from Montserrat County to River Cess is 2,500 Liberian dollars just for your hair, your face cap, your jacket, your shirt, or your trouser. Just for an individual. And if you are carrying another thing, you have to get another charge attached. So from Grand Gila County, from Montserrat to Grand Gila County is 10,000 Liberian dollars. 10,000 Liberian dollars. From Montserrat County to River G County is 14,000 Liberian dollars. And from Montserrat County to Maryland and Grand Crew is 18,000 Liberian dollars. So there you have it. That's the transport fare for the southeastern region. So that's it, Damo.
Thank you. Thank you, there, Emmanuel, for bringing us up to speed with what we should expect to pay once we want to use the road networks from Montserrat to the southeastern part of Liberia. That has been an age-old conversation. That has been something people have made campaign promises, governments in, governments out. And let's be honest. Liberia is not a big country by landmass. Liberia isn't big by landmass. We're not a big country at all. You know, if we had good road connectivity, you know, paved roads from here straight to Cape Palmas, from here straight to Harper, from Monrovia straight to Harper, and from Monrovia straight to Barclayville, to Greenville. I can tell you, I have traveled by vehicle from Kaneshi, around Central Accra, to Elubo, the border between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. We started off, I think, around 1 p.m. thereabout. We reached Elubo by 6:30 thereabout. Ghana is big. Somebody can leave from northern Ghana, from Tamale, straight to Accra. If you're looking at the distance, Ghana, land mass, land space, Ghana is bigger than Liberia.
Yeah, certainly.
And distance covered from one end of Ghana to another end of Ghana to Ivory Coast is quite longer from that of Liberia to from Monrovia to Grenjide in terms of land mass. You know, and again, I traveled from Elubo to Abidjan, and it didn't take us a day. And then from Abidjan to Tulople. You understand? And all along, it was paved until just a short stretch between Liberia and Ivory Coast. You know, that area is unpaved. So if we have good road network, Emmanuel, our people can cut across the country in no time. Sure, it is going to have an overflow and affect tourism. Yeah, Cape Mount is beautiful. But when I take my car and go to Cape Mount like that, I'll be looking at repairs when I get back.
What about Maryland?
Yeah, what about Maryland is beautiful.
Very beautiful.
It will encourage tourism. It will encourage the transportation of goods and services. Guess what will open again? Freighting and trucking companies will become a new business in the country.
And people will have the enabling environmental job.
Good. Transportation will boom because now you see bigger, more comfortable buses, cross-country buses, you know, on the road. That's transportation. You see bus terminals will open. People will construct bus terminals. Where you go there, it's like a mini airport. You can sit and charge your phone and do other things and watch TV and get your ticket and wait for your bus or to depart. You know, those businesses will open. When bus terminals are opening, people will start selling around there. If people start selling around there, people will start opening guest houses around those terminals, because if your bus is to leave late or you arrive late and you don't want to take the risk, you will sleep at a nearby motel or hotel. So everything has got a positive effect if you have good road connectivity. I can go to Grenjide, my hometown, go and visit, spend a day and come back because the road is good. But you can try it, Nana.
You can try it.
So that's why farmers are losing their produce.
Yes.
They don't have storage facilities.
No storage facilities.
When they harvest their products, there is no good road network. So bulk of the products, you know, get spoiled and they lose.
You know, a road connectivity in itself help the economy to grow.
Of course.
Because you have, as you said initially, you have farmers bringing their produce to town, and people have to buy these things. And you have more businesses, you know, going on. But, you know, I'm wondering, at times, I'm seeing other countries in our sub-region and even in other areas in the continent, very large. How those people manage to create the space, carry on development, and our country is not big enough. And those people, the minds of our leaders, they are equal with those people. But what actually is missing, Damo, that we cannot have a good road connectivity. We cannot have electricity.
We said that on Wednesday. We said that on Wednesday. It's just the lack of love.
It's just bad
for our country. It's just the lack of love. That's all. It's just the lack of love. That's all. Because the people from Singapore, they love their country.
Yeah.
And they decided to develop their country. They didn't take 80% for themselves and 20% to go back to the people. And the 20%, they will play politics with and put big billboards all around like they're doing us a favor. No, they didn't do that. You have to be nationalistic. You firstly have to love yourself, love your country. Everybody can eat.
Yeah.
Everybody. There is no country in this world that you tell me there aren't corrupt elements. There are corrupt elements in every country in the world. But at the end of the day, if the system is set up in such a way and people love their country and they want to see their country do good, and there is accountability and punitive measures
show enough
taken against those who will do wrong, then you have people walking in chalk line. Look at Dubai, for example, the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
What do they have? Sand and oil. They sat down and said, look, oil is going to, though we have reserves, we have a huge stockpile of oil that we've not even drilled. But how can we turn the oil into something else that will still bring us money? They look at real estate.
Yeah.
That's one venture that will always be profitable because the population is increasing. There's need for space, and people need to live in better places. They decided to invest in infrastructure and other developments. They turn the money around, the oil money, into something else.
That woman having it.
Look, Liberia. We don't want to go off what we've planned for today, so we just spend 5 minutes on this, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
The fact that we can go to other countries and be wooed, amazed, and be in awe as to what they have, that should ring a bell. We go right here to Ghana.
Go Ghana. Go Nigeria.
See interchanges. And I want to say this to my people in the government. I want to say this. You see 540 right here? 540 that right here by us. It's a very dangerous crossing point. It's very dangerous. You have a very large population living on the Peace Island. And people cross the road anyhow. You just get one zebra crossing there. It's faded up and all of that. You can put traffic like that. If looking at the way it is, you could, but traffic light not working. So my advice to you people, we don't come on this radio, on this show to just criticize and critique. We provide solutions. Free consultative service. You see all the heavy iron and metal that we take into put things to Vamuma, to put big soundboards and billboards on it for marketing purposes. Government or Liberia, Ministry of Public Works. You can build a metallic crossover or a crosswalk for an overpass. So you're still waiting to build the overhead bridge and all that thing. We can see it not happening to save the people's lives. You can construct the same way you took your time. You constructed those big metallic overpasses, overhead billboard signs and all that kind of thing to be put in your billboards and things on it to hold it up. You can do the same and make it an overpass just for pedestrians to climb up the stairs and cross, to save them, save their lives from crossing the road when vehicles are on speed, and all that. Don't just depend on police officers there to be stopping cars. No, do something. It will be a medium-term solution until the overpass can be constructed. It's free consultative service. Say I told you about the toll booth Benin. I heard the president mention it during the breaking ground of the RIA road. We need to at least do that. You can do one again around the boulevard, junction there. Right around there, you can do one You can even do one when the ERW road is done for people to cross the road from the ERW junction area. It's simple.
The road is very terrible.
When you get the money now to do the overpass, the real permanent one, you can take that one down, use it somewhere else, or use the metallic components for something else. And guess what it will give you again? It will give you even more space to put the big billboards and political pictures up, because you can put it both sides. You can even put it when the people walking. You can put it inside and all of those things. You know, we need to do that. It's just simple. You can do it. In no time, I went home, I woke up, and the next morning I saw big hell, you know, something of a moment to put billboards on it. I said, oh wow, so we can do this. And we're looking at people just crossing the road, their lives being at risk.
You know, Damo,
we can do that.
You know, Damo, that clearly shows you that leaders in this country only prioritize something that will give them rather than the people. For once now, if you value your citizen, you'll find alternative means for them for their safety. Instead of just doing things that will benefit you alone. Because how many citizens will benefit from that billboard? If that was a crossover for citizens,
overpass,
that would be a better alternative for them. Rather using the main quota, you just pass over for even school-going kids.
Everybody is going to benefit from that. You know what will happen on our overpass again, on our temporary overpass, Emmanuel, that pedestrian walk, that overhead pedestrian walk? People will start selling businesses there. People start doing businesses right on the overpass. Or the pedestrian walk, the overhead walk. People will start doing that. You know, so do something.
Do something.
That will save the lives of your people.
Self-advertisement.
Do something. The same amount of materials you used to put a thing up to Vamuma and to post somewhere around going to Boulevard Junction and all that kind of, and the same type of materials you will use. All you need is just the flow sheets and all those things and make it work. It will not even take you 3 weeks to construct. Real durable one that our people can be crossing and be saving their lives. Amen. I'm gonna draw it.
I think you have to draw it.
I'm gonna draw it.
I'm seeing one of our viewers saying, stop wasting your time. No, we're not wasting.
No, we're not wasting our time. We'll hammer at home. We can't get tired.
We'll never get tired.
We'll hammer at home. All right, let's greet some of our viewers this morning quickly, Emmanuel, and then we'll move on to other issues we have. We have training issues to share with our people. We have to cut across Liberia and speak to our county correspondents. We'll also be playing host to Madam Bendu Kromah, a presidential aspirant as well. She'll be coming in studio to talk about her aspiration, what plans she's got for Liberia and the participation of women in politics at the highest tier in our country. Good morning to Siliki Twayore. How are you doing? Good morning to Lindsay Kia. Okay, Lindsay Kia. Good morning to Edwin Kwekwe Lombard Jr. watching us from Kakata City, Magibi County. Good morning to Daxinos Twa, the birthday man. Hope you're doing great. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful birthday. I'll be going to the Madam for my own birthday celebration to the local chapter here. Good morning to Edward Collet. Watching us this morning from Mount Barclay. Good morning to Testimony in Ebony Doga. Says Liberia, a dramatic country. Good morning to Emmanuel G. Ansa. How are you doing? Good morning to Israel Jackson. Watching us from Toledo, Ohio, the United States of America. Says thank you for the hard work. Thank you for watching as well. Shepherd is watching us from West and East Coast. On both coastline, West and East Coast. Kelvin M. Brown is also watching us as well. Good morning to Henricio Golf Favor Flomosin, our friend there from Moldova in Italy. How are you doing? Morris Burfy II is watching us. I'm following from the office of the Disappointed Sedition Association of Liberia, district number 2, Mount Barclay, Johnsonville. We'll see all kinds of auxiliaries and groups speaking, springing up. That one is the Disappointed. Good morning to Eric S. Tuka, watching us from Sophie Community this morning. Sagacious Kamara is watching us from Kiev in Ukraine. Okay, how are you doing there? Good morning to Yaya Sekou Toure. Okay, good morning to Daniel Woods. Good morning to Too's boy Cephas, watching us this morning as well. I say we don't want to send your money. Yes, we'll send your money. Told you that was a process. It'll be done hopefully today. Lucia D. Stem is watching us this morning from Randall Street. Israel Jackson is watching us as well. Good morning to Sekou Tele. Joy Agnes Moba is watching us as well. The list is long. The list is very, very long. Good morning to Cooper Sylvester, who just jumps so and jumps so. If you don't mention your name, it's no hard feelings. We're back. Good morning to Cooper Sylvester, says I'm watching from Ghana this morning. Kofi up, Cooper? If you understand that call, you respond. Kofi up already. Good morning to Melvin Alex, watching us this morning from Maryland, Liberia. Good morning to Tote Ba. Good morning. How are you doing, Mr. Ba? Good morning to Josephus Shad Thomas. How are you doing? Good morning to Melvin Alex. Okay, I've mentioned Melvin Alex. Emmanuel, you can just go over a few. Let's move on with the show quickly.
You have okay, we have Romeo Neva, we have Joe Bordeaux, we have Kevin M. Brown, we have Yaya Sekou Touré, we have Siakat Masale, we have Edward Collet, we have M. Jeremiah L. Flomo, we have Jeremiah Cooper, we have Alicia Wijwagu, and we have Daniel Trawari, we have Shepherd, and the list goes on. Johnson B. Nat.
Okay.
As well.
All right. Thank you, Ver. So today we'll not be bringing on the Chief of Public Safety.
Okay.
All right. So he has responded and said, yes, so the sun is up. So Kofi, the cool name for the sun.
Kofi?
Yeah,
Kofi. How you call it, Jenna?
Kofi. He said Kofi up. Kofi is up. I mean, the sun is up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has responded by saying, yes, so the sun is up, my brother. Yeah. 6 a.m. The sun already shining. Really, really scorching. All right. So there you have it, folks. We'll now bring about what we have planned for you this morning on trending issues. A lot of trending issues in Liberia. Yesterday, the biggest was the endorsement by over 40 lawmakers endorsing a re-election bid of President George Biden. All right. So we'll just go through this list. And at that program, President Weah vowed. He said, I will whip them. And it's not his first time saying that, though.
Yeah.
The president has said, I will not make your shame, to his partisans. That I wouldn't make your shame. You put me in a boxing ring against, maybe we'll have like with the coalitions and alliances, and collaborations, the number of presidential candidates will not be as many as last election 2017. Because now we'll have other parties, opting not to run and feud presidential candidates, rather than going under the umbrella of a coalition or an alliance or a collaboration. So President Weah have said, let their collaborations come. Let their alliances come. Reminds me of the time he challenged Costa.
Yeah.
Say, go choke, but go, on the street and go bust it. Reminds me of the time he said, you think I'm gonna more than you. Ask them. He has not shied away. And from covering the president for a number of years, I've gotten to know certain body postures of his. That if he does certain thing, I can tell you what next he's about to do. When the president is being diplomatic or he's reading a speech, you have his hand on the podium and he'll be reading. I'm giving you tips. So whenever you see President Weah turn like this, when he has read whatever he has to say, and he turns, he makes a turn to the left and he raises his head like this, or he touches his glasses, or he leans back like this a bit when he's standing after delivering a written speech or whatever prepared text, know that it has changed.
Yeah.
Just know that it has changed from being diplomatic to going in full-scale crew version. He's going out on an attack. Those are his signs. For me, my personal observations, if you watched that video yesterday, after he had read the prepared text, the next thing he did was he turned to the left like this and he raised his head.
As a struggle.
Yeah. He read it now. The moment he did that, I started laughing. And he didn't disappoint me. Yeah. He said, we finished doing 98, 95%. Then the one can tell me from there to can do 5 and 2% to claim the glory. President, let me ask you one question. Good morning, Chief. The Japanese freeway. Who did 95, 96%? Who did the dedication? It was you. Ellen commented that one. The ministerial complex. Who did that? The airport. Yeah, President. Who did that? So that thing, government is about continuity.
Sure.
Is government go, government come, national policies and projects will continue. Yeah, I know that politics you playing with that thing, but which government now, a responsible government, will come and see a road project that was done at least whatever percentage it is, and it's a project that is not a personal thing, but a country thing, that money for the country is being used. And if that project is left to die, the country is still going to pay those loans. If it's a grant, we tell God thank you. But if you don't utilize the grant, the person that gave you the grant is not going to be in a good mood to give you another one, because they'll say you've wasted their taxpayers' money. So yeah, people can do 98%, their friend can finish, provided the people don't give you the mandate to continue. So the president said he's going to defeat the opposition. Then he asked the question, so what the one can rescue? They were there for 12 years. What did they do? Now they just spent 5 years in the corner watching me play on the field, 3-month job. We are 10 years, all that kind of thing. And then they won't come back. Come out to do what? So let me now say all for Prezzo. Yeah, let Prezzo speak for himself. He hasn't shied away though. Sometimes he gets still on before he talk to all to address on national issues. But he did speak yesterday at the endorsement program. The CDC endorses itself.
Endorsement and reaffirmation.
Yeah, that the two things on it. Because they were hearing news that some men wanted to cross.
Yeah, crisscross carpet.
So they say, you know what?
No,
but people can still cross. So even when they endorse,
they
can say politics is not stable. Politics is dynamic. Yeah. So let's listen to the president here delivering his speech.
We have been hearing people say they're coming to rescue York. Why are they coming to rescue? When you give him free tuition, you building the institution, you're making sure that macroeconomic stability is intact. Government has their own building, the roads, we're building the roads. Free wisely. What are they coming to do? What are they coming to rescue? When they told you that the squander, the only opportunity they have, what are they coming to do? If someone ever informed you that free education is not a right thing to do, building roads is not a right thing to do, tell them, what are you coming to do? Have somebody that stayed in a position for 12 years. After he left, in 5 years, everything going good, he said he's coming back again. What is coming to change? We are the change.
Okay, so there you have it, President. We are asking what are they coming to rescue? In fact, what is it the Unity Party and the Unity Party, they're talking about rescuing. Yeah. He didn't mention the fixers. Yes. Yeah. He talked about the rescue team. Why the president? We had just mentioned rescuing the country and he forgot about fixing. Is it that president we are doesn't really see Mr. Cummings and his CPP as a formidable force, and he sees the UP as his closest contenders, those who might cause him an upset, that he keeps going at them. He mentioned the ANC though. But he mentioned the ANC at one point in time, but not at this particular program. So, do you think it was a clever attempt by the president to say, "Oh, Cummings and his people, they are no brainer for him. He doesn't see them in his rear mirror, or he sees the Unity Party."
Damon, the issue here is the thing is clearing. The Unity Party in past election was a major rival to the CDC, and we saw what happened. And we have a sense of understanding of the entire politics of our country, how it goes. So, President, wasn't wrong on yesterday when he continuously mentioned rescue, because Unity Party, to be frank, Unity Party is a major contender in this.
Yeah, the question is, it's not that Unity Party is not a major contender. What I want to know is, did the president carefully omit the CPP? He didn't mention they want to rescue or they want to fix. He only said they want to rescue. Is it that he doesn't consider the fixers?
Sure. Sure.
No, President, we have to
Sure.
go back and redo that speech.
Sure.
You have to redo that.
And you know, Damo, I want to say something. It is good to be optimistic when it comes to these things, but in so doing, you have to take into consideration that this is a process. This is a process. What you've done over time will actually speak for you. And the president mentioning 90%. That score is very high. Is very high. If you mention 90%, what will the Southeasterners say?
No, the president was alluding to the fact that he didn't say he has performed or he's done 90% of the things he promised. No, he said, why you want to change a government that they've done something 95%, 98%. He's talking about certain projects. He was talking about certain projects that are near completion or that are in the process of being completed, or they're now on the way, on the way. But my thing is, whether or not a project is at 98% or 95% or even 2%, if a government is changed, the government is changed.
Yeah.
The next government is that government's responsibility once the funding is there, and that project is a national project, to continue with that project, not to abandon it. If you do that, if you abandon that project, then you are wasting resources. So the president was appealing to his partisans and others that don't let them take the glory. Let me take my own glory. Yeah, don't let them take the glory. Let me take my own glory.
So now,
let me start and let me finish. Let me finish it. So it's gonna be finisher 1 and finisher 2.
You know, that was so my question is did President Weah didn't complete some projects that were initiated by past government?
He did.
So why now?
But he still recognized the past government. So the other people will say they'll recognize
so
him
now,
as well.
And another issue that has to do with the reaffirmation and endorsement of some lawmaker. To be frank, Damo, that is a plus for President Weah re-election bid, because
how is it a plus? Tell me.
Certainly, because those lawmakers could have made a choice to cross to another party or cross to the opposition, but they maintain that stance to affirm that support to him.
So who needs who? Let's look at the relationship.
Everybody needs everybody.
Let's look at it.
Everybody needs everybody.
Who needs who?
Everybody needs
because
everybody.
if you cross over now and you're going off a re-election, many of these lawmakers in 2017, I should say the year was 2017, many of them rode the CDC glory train. And so many of them still are relying on the popularity of the president with his CDC constituents. So let's look at who really needs who. Is it that the president needs these people more than they need him? Because now, if we look at them, let's look at the list, Emmanuel. We'll get to your question. Let's look at the list. Now, all of the representatives, all 73 of them are going for re-election. All 73 of them are going for re-election. You have to look at what are their chances in their district. Which one of them can sit back and say, I will campaign rigorously for the president and abandon my campaign? You know what they will do? They will mention the president in whatever campaign speeches and rallies that they go on, but they will focus more on getting themselves re-elected. Because at the end of the day, it's everybody for themselves. They will support the president's re-election bid to some extent, but it wouldn't be over their own re-election. All 73 of the representatives, all 73 of them. Some of them have got a better chance of re-election in their districts. You know, some of them have got a better chance, so they can spare some time and ride with the president's campaign message. Many of them will need the president to visit their districts to consolidate their effort. Many of them are going to rely on the president. Many of them are going to pull the president's image, whatever he's done in their county, to ride and say, okay, let keep us there. You know, I'm close to the president, and once I'm there, development is going to come your way, and all of that. Many of them.
You know, that is true, but that would take into consideration those lawmakers and the president are going for re-election.
Mm-hmm.
And one way or the other, the president needs those people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they take away their support from the president,
Mm-hmm.
take into consideration that followers too,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a number that the president will be losing,
Mm-hmm.
that will be taken away from him.
Granted.
In the process.
Granted.
So, in the case of that, everybody needs everybody.
Of course, but who needs the other the most? Who now? Let's look at
Yeah.
what they need.
Mm-hmm.
The CDC. The CDC.
Yeah.
If you leave the CDC now
Mm-hmm.
and you go to another party, how are you going to integrate? The CDC is in power and has got access to all of the resources.
Sure.
There will be campaign funding for all of these things. Those who will be on the side of the party to go in their districts to mobilize and to make sure the president is re-elected. They benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
The CDC. Now we come to the individual popularity of the president.
Yeah.
They will want to use his presence. Look, they will jostle for the president's visit in their districts. It's going to be a jostling thing.
Sure.
Because everybody wants to ride on the cloud of the president. They want to. They want to. Now, we've gotten insider information that is unproven that over 150,000 was dished out to CDC lawmakers, to go and start their pre-campaigning activities and all of that. That is unproven information. But if you're riding with the ruling party as it is, and the president is also wanting to get re-election,
you have some benefit.
Cash will come.
Yeah, sure.
So everybody is going to depend on everybody, is true, but who's depending on the other the more? That is the question.
And I think that's true. That's true. The lawmakers needs the president, because in another angle of this argument, I think if they happen to lose a particular area for a representative, you have an alternative. If the CDC wins, you have a job. And also,
it's not guaranteed, though.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed. But Damo,
let's look at it.
Damo,
do I go for my own fortune? Something that I'm not going to work at your way and pleasure, and I am not going to
that's a fallback position.
To be begging you for a job. I'm not going to do all of those things.
That's a fallback position, Damo.
The one that is going to serve me in a way that I'm not going to depend on you wholly and solely. In that case, which one do you think those lawmakers that are up for re-election are going to focus on the more? That's what I want you to answer.
Well, it is interesting, Dama. To be frank, not to prolong the entire discussion because we have other things to go to, I think the lawmakers they need the president, and
not just the president. They need the president and the party
the most. Because and besides, I want to ask you this question too as well. Do you think Liberians are still voting on this issue of vote one, vote all?
Okay, the answer is in the middle. I can say outrightly no. I can say outrightly yes. But it's still a huge factor in our politics. That is why you see people are still using the image of the president overwhelmingly in their districts when whatever they do on their t-shirts and all of those things. Look, you see this thing about our voting mentality. It's developing a bit. Gradually, it's developing. Liberians, to some larger extent now, are voting on policies, on issues that are affecting them, but that population size that is doing that voting black, it hasn't outweighed those who vote for like the man and give me food to eat, like the man give me real, so I'll vote for him. Those who say that I'm partisan, 1847, I'll vote for them. Those who say that I'm a country mayor, I'll vote for him. Those who say I'm a county mayor, I'll vote for him. Those who say that I think the error then say I'll vote for them. So the policy-driven portion of our voting population is still developing. It hasn't reached. But on the other aspect, on the other level, people have different choices.
Sure.
People now don't vote on one party ticket.
Yeah.
That okay, I'm a presidential candidate, so I'll vote for a representative candidate in my district. No. When it comes to the district and the county elections and the general and the presidential elections, people make distinctions. Because at the district level, it affects you directly. Though what happens on the national level is going to affect you on the overall, but at the district level, you are there. You know what that legislator is doing in the district.
Sure.
You know how positively or negatively it has affected you. So somebody will go and vote for Party A representative candidate and then vote for Party B's presidential candidate. So people are making that distinction. So this vote one, vote all. If you look at previous by-elections, it has not worked. The president raised a number of people's hands, and he lost. People voted based on issues that affected them at that time. So that's why I said yes and no.
And I think people will be rewarded based on their work they have done over time.
Yeah. So
people will be rewarded based on their work they have done over time. So the issue about vote one, vote all, I think in some cases it will exist, but not in a larger portion, not in a very larger portion, because there are some lawmakers who are desperate to perform, and those constituents members will not want to retain those people. So at the end result, I can someone will want to vote for George Weah and will not want to vote for a candidate on the CDC ticket. So in a particular district, because perhaps that individual has underperformed and they have a better alternative, and they have seen George Weah as someone who have performed better. So that vote won't vote, or I think lawmakers should have to graduate from that level, start depending on it, using it as a as something that they can rely on, because I'm from the CDC, people will vote me, or I'm from a particular party, people will vote me. You will have to work, to gain the admiration of the people. Don't be relying on party, even though there are some benefits, as Damo said, there are some benefit that comes along as you go by election. There are some benefit that comes along from the party angle, but you will have to work. You will certainly have to work to retain your seat. So
just to conclude on that, Emmanuel, thank you for your brilliant points. Just to conclude on that, everybody wants a piece of the cake.
Yeah.
The funds that are going to be allotted, everybody wants a piece of the cake in the ruling party. Pape, we need to maintain the CDC legislative caucus in the house. Yeah, you know the numbers. If we don't have the numbers, so they are going to. That is why you saw most of them, pledge being there, because they know that a lot in terms of goodies. But at the end of the day, are they going to push the president's re-election agenda more than their personal agenda?
That's the question.
That is the question.
And
those that are at risk of being ousted by their people, if you're not popular in your district anymore, how then can you bring votes to the president? By your association, and even going there to say, oh, yeah, your vote for the president, people might be distracted from you. People might go to another place. But again, people vote differently. Others will vote for you, representative election, and vote for another person, presidential on the presidential ballot. But let's look at some of the representatives who pledged their support to the president re-election bid. Speaker Chambers, that is something we also know. The deputy speaker, Moses Akar, is great. Representative Thomas Fala, Representative Julie Weah, Representative Isaac Rowland, Representative Matthew Joe, Representative Rosanna Shah for River Says, Representative Haja Fatah Sanya, Representative Kompu Kagong, who was just ousted out from the MDR, Representative Matthew Zaza, Representative Mary Kawa of Grand Bassa County, Representative Mambu Soni, Representative Johnson Gweklo, Representative Marvin Cole, Representative Dixon Sibo, Representative Mana Bishop Johnson, Representative Joseph Sowabi, Representative Samson Ware, Representative Finda Bori Lasana, Representative Frank Safoko. All right. I'll bring you the list more. Frank Safoko. All right. Representative, trying to get the full list. All right. Frank Safoko. I thought I mentioned Frank Safoko, right?
Yeah.
Representative Dixon Sibo. Representative George Sama. Representative Emerson Kamara. Representative Marimu Fofana. Representative Vixen Willie. Representative Tuperisos Tampoe. Representative Ava Jones, Representative Clarence Yah, Representative Afra Kowu, Representative Prince Tokpa. All of them are up for re-election. All of them are up for re-election. Now, from the Senate, Senator Pueblo Brown, Maryland.
Maryland County.
Augustine Chi, he's up for re-election as well.
Yeah.
Senator Numali Batikwa, he's now up for re-election. He won the special senator election. Senator Emmanuel Lukwe, he's now up for re-election. Senator Morris Setuma is up for re-election, right? Senator Simeon Taylor, he's now up for re-election. Senator Zoe Emmanuel Penu, he's now up for re-election. Senator Marshall Dennis is up for re-election. Senator Joseph Jala is now up for re-election. So those that are not up for re-election, they will focus their energy solely on campaigning to get the president votes. Those that are up for re-election, the question is their interest and the president's interest. Which one are they going to prioritize more? And how popular still are they in their various constituents? And if who needs who the more, they or the CDC, and who stands to benefit the more from this endorsement? We have election money that's going to come your way. Yeah. You know, we have the president's endorsement in your district of your candidacy that's going to come your way. You know, we have so many other things. So who's going to use who the more to get their aim and objective, you know, accomplished. So we'll talk about that. You can call on the phone lines once we open the phone lines. For course, you can come and talk on the CDC's endorsement yesterday by over 40 lawmakers, senators, and representatives alike. All right. So while people were endorsing yesterday, Emmanuel, people were quitting. So the head of the former head, now it's former, the former head of the biker tag team, JMB's tag team, Telia Ure, at one point, representative candidate in District 15, has resigned from the tag team. And this is her post. Let me see if I have the post uploaded. And it has raised the question as to where is she going, and now who are they going to support now? Remember, Telia used to post pictures of being on a private jet, you know, going to Nigeria and other places to go and work in the interest of Mr. Boyka and the Unity Party. But since after this whole running mate thing, after her brother Costa was snubbed by JMB, there's been bitter taste in the mouths of the Uris and their supporters. So it's that the Papa said, my daughter, I'm done again. What are you still doing that? They said, Papa, I'm leaving. So this is what she said. She said, when people repay your good with evil, you leave them with God and continue to do more good. Who has she labeled people that have repaid her good with evil? So she has resigned. But the tag team members are still there. But their head, who is very illustrious as well, energetic, she has left. Does this signal more rift between Boyka and the Uris? And if so, we know that Henry Costa is in town. There are different news circulating that he might be on the ticket of the ALP, because the ALP has not yet come out to announce. And candidate nomination begins today. The NEC's process of candidate nomination begins today at the Samuel Kando Sports Complex. We've been hearing from the grapevines that he might just be on the ticket of the ALP, whether as their presidential candidate or their vice presidential candidate, either of the two. And if this is another attempt of the Uris to box Mr. Boyka in the corner and say, okay, since what we wanted from you, we're not getting it, we'll put up our own ticket, and then at the end of the day, when it's a second round and the people need people now to come around the table to get our support, we can now make stronger demands. You know, we can now make stronger demands. So that is the issue. But the news is, Madam Ure, she has quit. She said, Papa Boyka, I ain't doing no more.
And Dama, that sent a signal out as it relates to the voting with the Unity Party and the ALP. You know, Taylor Ure is the daughter of Honorable Bendu Ure, And I don't know. And the question that keeps coming in my head, I want to know as to whether all of the fight that the folks from the All Liberian Party were engaged into with the United Party was to reciprocate the vast and opposition, or they were in this endeavor for a worthy or for a national cost. Because since the naming of Jeremiah Kuhn, we have seen a lot of things, and we have seen some silence from the side of Benin Ayire. He's not talking anymore like he used to about Boaka. The likes of Henry Petro Costa, that was very vocal when it comes to pushing Boaka ticket, and of recent, he have made some statement about he will not support CDC, but he is not very clear as to whether he's still supporting a Boaka ticket. So I think in my mind, I'm thinking that the ALP going to feed a candidate, and if that candidate will be anyone else, it will not be anyone else rather than Costa. So I think it's a backup position for some of those staunch supporters of the ALP. I think that's what is going on, and trust me, that will be the case. That's what I'm focusing.
Yeah. So there are political parties, Emmanuel, that are formed. They know that they cannot win presidential elections anytime soon. People form parties not just to contest for offices, but also to form part of negotiations, to become stakeholders.
Sure.
In a country like Liberia, where there is a proliferation of political parties, where today, if I desire, which is my right, to Emmanuel, Magic, the rest of us can go and form our own political party and call it the Conscious Journalists Union of Liberia. And we'll be well within our rights once we qualify constitutionally and we are not legally unfit to establish a political party. And then it's all about security. Politics is about security.
Yeah.
It's about security. People say it's about interest. It's about interest. It's true. But security comes first in the interest rating, because you want to support a side that is going to provide you job security, protection in terms of security in protection, security in financial, goodwill, and a lot of other things, and positions, and a lot of other things people term as security in politics. So if you cannot have a stronger position to negotiate, you will be given what the stronger party in a negotiation deems necessary.
Sure enough.
So is this a move born out of the fact that the ALP did not get what they wanted?
That's what I'm saying. Surely.
Is it that move? Is it a move that based on the fact that they didn't get what they wanted, but they still were not giving other concessions that they needed? Is it a move? And is it at this point a clear indication that those who sing, oh, Hosanna, Hosanna, want to save the country, are only in to save themselves when it reaches the reality of things? But again, people can change sides if it is not formidable or favorable to them at that moment. But again, what would that signal? Now, is the ALP playing at the fact that they are going to field a ticket, put out a ticket, and then that ticket is going to get some percentage of the vote, and after that, when there is now the need to go to the table, you can come and say, okay, since we're coming to the table with XYZ, this is what we want. This is what we want. Does this strengthen their position even more?
And that is a very smart and salient point you've raised. And I think they want their person to be fair as well, as it relates to getting, as he said, an equal share of what they worth, because you cannot be untested and think you will come to the table and get share as compared to those who have been tested. Because you see, when we go over second round, you'll see other collaboration coming on board, and they will have to come with number. They will have to come with number. So I think that would be another angle they are trying to take it from, instead of just going like the normal way, just behind them. They have to show their strength to as well. Oh, this is what the ALP can do, and this is what the ALP have. So, giving our support to you, we will have to do XYZ and blah, 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 and blah. So, if you cannot meet up with what we want, then no need. So, I think the ALP is, if that is the trend they are taking, that's a very smart move. And it makes a lot of sense.
It's a smart of a move, or more of a desperate move for recognition. You know, like the way they say, if somebody take their football from you, then you go on the other side, you bring football, you want proof that you can play too. You want to start kicking the football on the wall. You know, you want to start kicking the football on the wall. Other than going to a team, you begin to play by yourself. You know, it's sometimes good to play by yourself.
Yeah,
it lets people know that you're independent. You know, you're not easily swayed. But also, is it a move? If that is what we're sensing, what we've been told, this is still unconfirmed. You know, but Tella Ure quitting the JMB tag team is a confirmed news. You know, Henry Costa not talking about JMB since the pronouncement is everybody knows about that. You know, whether Mr. Costa is still going to maintain his presidential ambition, that is well within his rights to do so. But does this move then signal that, as you said, is a smart move, but is it more of a desperate move for recognition? What is the constituent of the ALP? How significant is the ALP
and the candidate
that they will field? But let's look at past record, 2017.
2017.
How significant is the ALP? They can bring on new, political actors and become more significant than they were in 2017 because each person comes with his own constituents.
Sure.
But is it upsetting enough that they can be classified as a major political contender in the country? That is another question.
And
yeah, go ahead.
And that will be done through a major engagements. But we also have to take into consideration the time involved. Into consideration the time involved for the ALP to do some major engagement to accumulate numbers. We have to look at the time involved because taking into consideration, Kumi has been making some moves over time. The time involved is very short. We don't have much time to election. And now you want to stand on your own to feed a candidate, which of course in previous election your number was not too significant.
Okay, Imaro. So this is what this is going to ease us into our second into our third talking point, and we'll open the phone lines. We'll not be cutting across the country. We'll open the phone lines for our first batch of callers before we take our guests. Brani Samuka has said he is going to campaign against Steve Zago. All right. So from the information that I got here, and we'll share the information with our people as well. This information was a concession agreement. This, according to an inside source, is where some of the ALP's dissatisfaction stems from. That the Unity Party went into an agreement with the Liberty Party to get Madam Yomli Kanga Lawrence on their side. They negotiated. Yomli said she cannot come on her own. She's got some interests to protect. And as a leader, if you just value your own personal aggrandizement and leave your followers behind, who are they going to follow? Are they still going to follow you? So she made some proposals to the Unity Party, and they came up with an agreement. So in this agreement, according to what I have here, they had a discussion, and this agreement was reached on the 11th of May 2023. And remember, Yomli endorsed Joseph Boakai on the 14th of May 2023. So 3 days after this agreement was reached, we saw the endorsement because all parties were satisfied. Now, it reads, results from the discussions held between the delegations of the standard bearer and political leader of Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph N. Boakai, and the political leader of Liberty Party, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence. Montserrado County representative seats for Liberty Party. So they decided to waive and not to contest certain seats in Montserrat County. District number 5. And you saw Mo Ali withdrawing from the race in district number 5 for a candidate that Yombli Kanga Lawrence supports heavily.
Sure.
District number 5. Montserrat County, district number 8. Montserrat County, district number 12. You know why they pulled out of district number 8?
No.
Prince Toes is from the Yombli side of the Liberty Party.
Okay.
And he is contesting in district number 8. So because of that, the United Party pulled out of district number 8. They are not going to put on the ticket a partisan of the United Party. I will tell you how the entire ticket is going to be structured according to this document that we have. District number 12 has been yielded to the Liberty Party as well. District number 14 and district number 17, all in Montserrat County. District 5, District 8, District 12, District 14, and District 17. That is the security we are talking about. Now, to Grand Bassa County, all districts in Grand Bassa County except district number 3 will go to the Liberty Party. District number 3 is Matthew Fairplay Joe's district. It's the same district that Madam Charlene Bromskin would have contested in. So all districts in Grand Bassa County except district number 3 goes to the Liberty Party. In Lofa County, the senatorial seat for the United Party alliance goes to Senator Steve Zago. That is where I'm coming from with this Brani Samuka story.
Sure.
So they have Garama Katima, who has been a staunch supporter of the United Party and one time superintendent of Lofa, that was hired to go on the ticket of the United Party. Remember when GMB said he's willing to dance with the devil? Now one of the dance moves there. They had to say, Katima, Dada, leave it. We're in this alliance, so we are going to support Steve Zago. So from all indications, Katima is going to go as an independent candidate. And Brandon Samuka has said he is not going to support Steve Zago, even though the United Party has decided to support Steve Zago. But he's not going to support Steve Zago. He's going to support Katima. He's going to campaign vigorously and rigorously against Steve Zago. That is a dent in Zago's senatorial ambition. But we'll leave that and move over. So to Nimba County, all districts in Nimba County were surrounded to the MDR. So the United Party is not going to field any candidate in Nimba County. The same agreement was reached between the CDC and the MDR in 2017. Remember that? The CDC didn't field any candidate in a special senatorial election again. When they were together, the CDC didn't field any candidate in Nimba County. So the United Party is following suit. They are not going to field any candidate in Nimba County. In Bombing County, this is another news. It is agreed that the senatorial seat for the Unity Party alliance will be occupied by Honorable Alex Tyler. So Alex Tyler, the former speaker. So they now call it the Unity Party Alliance. So that alliance includes now Alex Tyler and those who will be following him from the LPDP. Remember, he has quit the LPDP. Yeah. This was in the making since May 11, 2023. So Alex Tyler is going to be supported by the Unity Party. In Maryland County, all districts were surrendered to Honorable James Biney. So James Biney
from the
MPP had already been with the Unity Party prior to his pronouncement that he made that he now supports the rescue team. This agreement was in place since May 11th. All districts were surrendered to Honorable James Biney of the NPP, considering his support for the Unity Party Alliance ticket. So the considering is the condition. Yeah. So James Biney was already negotiating with them that, I support the Pape, You know, I don't like what's happening in the NPP and the CPP by extension, in the CDC by extension. So I won't come on your side. And so they were negotiating, and they said, okay, consider it. If he flips, we'll field candidates in Maryland. If he doesn't flip, we'll yield Maryland to him. So James Biden has now come through with his own side of the agreement too, and now gone on the side of Joseph Boyka. You know what he's doing? He's wanting to position himself as the godfather of Maryland politics. So if he puts his people in the field and they are supported heavily and they win Emmanuel, they now owe it to him.
Sure.
So who then controls the legislative caucus of that county? Depending on how many of his candidates of choice will win the election, he then will run the affairs of Maryland as godfather. Politics. That is the reason McGill and what's his name, Nukwe, are fighting each other in Margibi
County.
You know why? Nukwe is smelling that McGill wants to topple him as the godfather of Margibi County. And if McGill wins that seat, McGill now is going to be a huge a serious contender to Nukwe in the county.
Sure enough.
And then there will be a division in the legislative caucus as to who supports McGill, because right now Nukwe is the elephant in the room in Margibi politics. But if another elephant arrives, then the grass can suffer. Then now people will start looking for who to be loyal to.
Yeah, who to be loyal to, who's more stronger.
So Nukwe is seeing something as an elder that a child that is standing will not see. Well, we have seen it too.
Yeah.
So there is a serious, intense fight in Margibi County. It's more like the Cold War. It's a proxy war. McGill has got his people that he's supporting for representative seats. And if they win, and he wins his election, he puts himself in the position to be the Margibi County godfather. Then he can now control the affairs of the county politically. So Nukwe is saying, that Ijawan can't take it from me. So let's go back to the list and you can weigh in quickly, Emmanuel.
Yep.
Let me just complete this listing. So I was in Maryland, right?
Yep.
Now we'll go to Bapolu County. In Bapolu County, the senatorial seat for the Unity Party Alliance will be occupied by Honorable Amara Kone. The only district in contention between LP and UP is district number 2. Considering that the UP chair is interested in contesting the seat, considering the UP chair is contesting, the seat is to be ceded to the UP. So if Reverend Tapla, the UP chair,
Luther Tappe.
Yeah, Luther Tappe. Thank you. If Reverend Luther Tappe says, I'm going to contest in district number 2, then the LP will forget it. But if Reverend Luther Tappe says, no, man, I won't contest. I want to still remain the chairman, that is going to usher the party in should they win. Then LP will take the seat. You see the arrangement? You get in the arrangement, eh? Get in the arrangement. All right. Now, in Cape Mount County, the consultation will continue for district number 3. So they're still consulting as per this thing when it came up. They're still consulting how they're going to do Cape Mount district number 3. Who's going to take that? In Bong County, the LP will occupy the seat in district number 2. So that has been decided. In Margibi County, now the part in the whole entire document that have me laughing. In Margibi County, did I do Riverses? No. In Riverses County, the LP will occupy district number 1 in Riverses. Now in Margibi County, the LP traded Margibi County for Riverses district number 1. So when we're doing the arrangement, LP said, you know what? We'll take Margibi district number 1. Then
Riverses number 1.
Yeah, we'll take district number 1 in Riverses. Thank you. And then we'll get your Margibi. Yeah. So they decided it right there and then. All right. Now, this is the serious part of this entire thing. It says, it was agreed that in order to avoid complications, please underline complications. With the National Elections Commission and other bottlenecks that could be created. All candidates will run on the Unity Party ticket. Get rid of you this morning.
So now, Unity Party have set up this thing and then leave it out to them. And Damo, my thing here is, I think if you have such agreement, people should adhere to those agreements rather than deviating.
There is another sweet part that is below.
Yes.
Now, but let's talk about the complications. I told you the underlying complications, right?
Yeah.
It says, note, it was agreed that in order to avoid complications with the National Elections Commission and another bottleneck that could be created, all candidates will run on the Unity Party ticket. You know why? Those from the LP, they don't get party nana.
Yes.
If they were to run on the LP, who will sign a document to run when Musa Ability? I said they must just forget it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the complication they were talking about.
Yeah.
So though they are from the LP, but they don't get party nana that NEC is going to recognize. They don't get party. They opted not to go and form Independent Liberty Party. You understand? So the only way they can run and start running as independent, and then the Unity Party is not going to support it. And Unity Party people too smart. They want to consolidate their numbers in the House, in the legislature.
Sure.
So they've said, so you're not getting home and you're homeless now as it is, but you get numbers, your can will provide your home. That is that. So Steve Zago, you see Steve Zago on Unity Party ticket. Anybody from the Liberty Party, Yombli Sa, those are beyond Yombli Kanga Lawrence. They will run on Unity Party ticket as per this agreement. Those districts and those senatorial seats that were given out, they will run on Unity Party ticket. Now, this is another sweet part, Emmanuel. It says other issues passed on. The meeting was agreed that the National Campaign Committee will be chaired by the political leader of the Liberty Party. So Yombli Kanga Lawrence, as per this agreement, is going to be the National Campaign Chair. Yombli Kanga is going to be the National Campaign Chair as per this document. You want to know the other sweet part?
Yeah, it has many sweet parts.
Yeah, the sweet part is plenty. The last sweet part, and I will leave and come and get your all. Yeah. The last sweet part that says, in a post-election legislative contest in the Senate, the meeting agreed that the Liberty Party political leader will be supported for the position of Senate pro tempore of the Liberian Senate by all Unity Party senators and allies. So if you've been hearing in a grapevine that, oh yeah, the UP is going to support Yombli as pro tem. Oh yeah.
So someone will say,
there you have it.
What are you giving me that you don't have?
Yeah. So, but in all of this, Brandon Samuka has said he is not going to support Steve Zago. Whether they have this agreement in place or not is his right. He's not going to support Steve Zago. He is going to support
Kotuma.
Yeah, Kotuma through it all. So political accommodation, landlords and homeless people, those who are without homes, the Unity Party have said, come on to me.
I will give you shelter.
I'll give you shelter. So that is just insider information, Emmanuel.
Yeah, so let's just get to the line and take a few calls.
All right. Okay. So let's get to the lines quickly and take a few callers. What's your take on the endorsement yesterday of the over 40 lawmakers endorsing a re-election bid of President George Manen Weah? We also talked about the issue of Tella Ure quitting the JMB tag team. What's in the pot? What's cooking? Is it that they're going to form and come up with their own presidential ticket? Is the ALP, since they haven't come up with their position yet, are they going to field their own candidate as well? And if so, candidate nomination has begun. It starts today. We also brought to you an insider arrangement between the UP and LP, as well as the MDR in a meeting that was held on the 11th of May 2023, just 3 days prior to Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence, endorsing the presidential bid and the presidential ticket of former Vice President Joseph Iman Boaka and Jeremiah Pankun, and tell her in her post, said people are ungrateful. When you fly private jet all around with your papi, with them to go Nigeria and other places to go get money, to go lobby for them, and all of those things. Yeah, where now you need them the most. They're doing agreements with Liberty Party, you know, like they don't value us. Like they didn't value us. They look at us, the ALP, the All Liberian People Party, the ALP, the All Liberian Party, and just pour on the side and decide to go negotiate with Liberty Party and get them good things, looking at the thing, get them plenty seats. And even then they left us standing in the cold, just looking at them. Thing that I wanted, they can't give it to us. But they're giving it to other people. People ungrateful. When you do good for them, amen, then they return your good with bad. So we're going. I pack my Satoka. Going. No longer part of this tag team thing. Yeah. My brother Pedro, you see, he ain't talking in Liberia now. He's just doing quietly moving around. Yeah. One year for that thing. 0777-1075, 0755-101075. Those are the numbers to call. Just speak to these talking points quickly. We have about 3 minutes to take your calls. Go for a short break. When we get back, we'll speak to Madam Bendu Kromah, who's on time. We'll speak to her. She's a presidential aspirant. Good morning.
Good morning to the big brothers in studio. When I say big brother, talking about the journalism star. My name is Woji, the public defender, and I phone you from district number 4, Motorado.
Go ahead, sir. You're welcome.
I mean, not in my position for political affairs, for political affairs, Motorado County Liberty Party.
Okay.
Anyway, you want to call our party, whether we are homeless.
My man, you're not getting played, Nana.
We agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I try Musa will come for you now. How y'all going to even register your candidates in the first place? Y'all look around, no way.
You know, God get help for everybody. If we can work good, we have to work. That's the reason why we have decided to go under the umbrella of United Party in order for us to survive. So all those are contesting our political vision well, with the exception of the person that want to contest in district number 2, Bon County, because for the incumbent that there is doing extremely well. So our advisor our candidate there to candidate support James McCullough. I'm not saying this because of special interests are part of the Bon County politics, specifically district number 2, that guy already performed. And trust me, he will be elected 100%. And the issue regarding Tella, you remember, at times before you take decision, look at your numerical strength. Politics is number.
So you're saying the ALP is not numerically significant as the Liberty Party, the Yombly, and her supporters? Is that what you're saying?
I would not use the word numerically or significant. They are significant, but what I'm saying, before you say you want to wrestle with somebody, look at your own strength. Value yourself first.
But if you get technique, the person might get strength, but you get technique. Don't manage muscular mass and things. And it gets people that are small in the body, but they got techniques. They got skills.
I know the size of it, doesn't matter. What you can do is all looking at, right? So I'm sincerely appealing to the our brother from the ALP side to kindly remain with JMB so that they can be respected and protected. Where are they going now? Will they get few months?
Yeah, but they can go. They can go and form their own ticket, and second round they can have a stronger ground to negotiate. They need to strengthen their position.
They will not have them politically. We only have to reduce them.
All right.
I can say that for free. So
all right, sir.
For the discussion, and some guy please support our board messages that go in the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take this person here as well. 0777-1075, 0555-101075. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning. Let's hear you out, please.
Good morning, Emmanuel. And good morning to your co-host. My name is Jericho Lisumo. I join you from District 17 this morning.
Go ahead. Let me see if your district on the list said I will share.
For me, I hear from Lufa and for what Honorable Bani Samuka is doing in Alaka Party, man, they are doing very wrong because this is a collaboration or normally have sacrificed for us and choose that go then they have sacrificed for Unity Party. So at this time, we will fight so that we can move ahead. So after he become president, Honorable Kalapa Party man could have a position in the government, but you can't be institutional person, then you say you can't be a law-abiding institutional person.
Okay.
So he's doing very wrong.
All right. Thank you. So you're saying
Thank you for
Brandon
having me.
Samuka should continue supporting Steve Zago, even if he doesn't, because he wants to be an institutional person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good. I'm okay. Good morning to Emmanuel. Why there's no program on the Super FM again?
Join.
Oh, okay.
One of our regular scholars from Super FM.
Okay. This is Derek Zina, and I joined from this century. Where's Aaron?
Aaron will be on tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen. I just saw into justice, but let me talk quickly on the UA issue. But UA, yes, we do agree. You and others make a strive for this country a few months ago, a few years ago. But remember, people stood with you yesterday. And then, I don't know, why some of you guys have problem with the selection of Omer Boakai. Election is about number. So, if Boakai did not come to your party and choose his running mate, doesn't mean you guys will not have position in his government. No. But we are looking at where the Omega go, at least get number. We are not saying you guys are not important. No. Like I listen to my junior brother Costa, complaining about the Pape, they know. Not because you guys were all in the fight 18 years, but at the end, we need number. We need number, and we got to go to a vote-rich county, which is nearby Lofa and other places.
Okay.
So we are begging you guys, Salah Ure, your join is Omer. Let us move the wagon forward. Thank you.
Thank you as well. 077771075 055101075. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning. You live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm Morris. I'm not calling from the party.
You're welcome, Morris. Go ahead.
I'm talking about the representatives that you are supposed to the president.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my most of the 40 representatives and the president support. Are you think that they will go back? The 40 representatives?
There's representatives and senators. It was a mix.
And senator, will they go back in their seat? They will not go back. Most of them will be kicked out. So they're only doing that one to get their last chance, but they can get their packaging to go out. We are not sure that they can be even the whole government gave their endorsement to that this year. The 2023, the Latin school that we are that representative will see for, that senator will see for. What we are seeing for the 6th year, we're going to speak to the bank boss and we're going to campaign, we're going to stand for the right of this country. It's not representative, they are rude, they are because they don't want to soften us.
Okay.
In their own interest. So we're not going to say like 40 or 50 senators or representatives in George, we have to that. Those people are looking for the packaging, they're about to go out.
All right,
so
sir.
What they can get.
Thank you.
So on the 3 year USA, we are feeling that we are there in the under the sun as a team. We have to come back. Even though you see numbers, she will help. Well, of course, she has been called by different people to try and join them. But at the end of the day, she thinks Labrador, love Labrador, and do Labrador.
Okay.
She has to support that, yes, Labrador is the only country that we have. So can I want to control?
Thank you, sir. I have to leave it at that and take just one more caller. Emmanuel will go for a short break, and then we'll take Madam Bendu Kromah, presidential aspirant that is already seated. She said our government will be a government of punctuality, so she's on time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Let's hear you out.
Thank you for having me on the show. My name is Benny Smith. I call from District 3 to be precise for Land Community.
Go ahead. All right, your district, I'm part of the agreement. You safe. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay. As for me, I have serious problem with the agreement, and I strongly believe that certain time or times to come, it will create a huge problem. My question to that is that if a unity party want to make a decision so that on a Liberty Party, but one way or the other, they will be running on a unity party ticket, will they make a decision? They will be part of the decisions making, or it come to making some tangible decision in unity party? I would tell you, say no. NEC will recognize those guys that will be running on unity party ticket as United Party lawmakers, or a United Party aspiring all the lawmakers. So the deed that Nyobli has drawn, she did it before it brought serious quarrel, and she has done so again. So I see serious quarrel ahead of it. Better for if you want to make a decision, don't make a decision on sympathy. Make a decision on the leakers me. So what she doing on sympathy, and not in the interest of the party. So thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you as well for expressing your opinion. All right. So someone requested that we read out the over 40 names of legislators who pledged their support, who endorsed the president's re-election bid yesterday. So I'll just go over that list. The WhatsApp number is on the screen for those of you overseas and wanting to weigh in on this first segment. We can spare a minute or two for you to call in. But let me read out the names of those who yesterday pledged their support to President Weah's re-election bid. So we start with representatives, the Speaker, Buffer Chambers, the Deputy Speaker, Jonathan Fanati Kofa, Representative Moses Akaras Gray, Representative Thomas Fala, Representative Julie Weah, Representative Isaac Roland, Representative Matthew Fairplay Joe, Representative Rosanna Shak, Representative Haja Fatah Sayon, Representative Gopu Kagon, Representative Matthew Zaza, Representative Mary Kawa, Representative Mambu Soni, Representative Johnson Gweklo, Representative Marvin Cole, Representative Dixon Sibo, Representative Mana Bishop Johnson or Bishop Mana Johnson, Representative Joseph Sawabi, Representative Samson Weah, Representative Finda Bori Lasana, Representative Frank Safoko, Representative Francis Young, Representative Dixon Sibo, Representative George Summer, Representative Emerson Kamara, Representative Edward Flomo, Representative Marmon Fofana, Representative Vincent Willie, Representative Tabariso Tamponwe, Representative Ava Jones, Representative Clarence Jar, Representative Alfred Kowu, and Representative Prince Tokpa. Senators: Pro Tem Albert Chie, Senator Bebo Brown, Senator Augustine Chie, Senator Numeni Batikwa, Senator James Emmanuel Nukwe, Senator Morris Setuma, Senator Simeon Taylor, Senator Zoe Emmanuel Penu, Senator Marsha Dennis, Senator Joseph Jala, and there's one more name, Edwin Snow. So there you have it for those who pledged their support to the president's re-election bid on yesterday. We'll take a short break. When we get back, we'll be in conversation with the chosen one. If you don't know who the chosen one is, relax. You get to know all about her and what are her plans for Liberia if she's elected president of the Republic of Liberia to replace President George Manneh Weah and to steer the affairs of the country for 6 years at first, whether or not she's going to go for re-election. But all of that you'll find out right after this commercial break. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. My name is Diamond Slanger. Emmanuel is going to touch a bit on the Spoon Mega Daily Cash Splash.
All right, the Spoon Mega Daily Cash Splash is a game that have some financial dividends. So all you need to do is just to pick up your mobile phone using your mobile money account. That *799# *799#. Select Spoon FM as spot number 3. If you dial *799#, you will transition to a point you see the list of radio stations, and you need to select Spoon FM as spot number 3, and then you place in your entry for the minimum of 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents USD. And When you do so, you are automatically part of the draw. And when we draw a winner, if your number emerges as the winning number, certainly you receive 2,500 Liberian dollars on your mobile money account. So it's just simple. *799#. Pick up a phone now. *799#. Select Spoon FM as spot number 3. And then place in your entry for the minimum of 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents. And then you are good to go. As soon as we draw a winner and your number emerges as the winning number, immediately your money comes on your phone. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Now let's go for this break. We'll be back. This is the Today Show on Spoon FM. We're also live on Super 95.5 FM across Liberia and across the world, and Liberia included. We're live on Spoon TV and on our YouTube page as well. We'll be back.
Tip me. Taddy boy, what's up?
Hey, Drew, I grew up.
Taddy boy, you know what they can say scratch card around here? I was just on the phone with my Oma and did my credit finish, and I can't even find anybody selling scratch card around here.
You said what? Scratch card? So fine, girl, are you still scratching with your fine fingernails? My girl, you rather sleeping, yo. You not know you can buy credit and did I run the Tip Me app?
I have the Tip Me app, but I don't know how to buy credit.
My girl, listen. Just tap on services at the bottom of the dashboard, then tap on mobile recharge, select your country, Liberia, because of Liberia we in. Enter your phone number, then tap verify to display orange or Lone Star, depending on which one you're subscribing with. Then tap browse plan, select the amount you want to put in, enter your PIN, boom, you finish. You can buy airtime and data just like that.
Boy, easy, that all there.
No, ma, wait, that's not all. This is the juicy part. The tipping people say on your Tip Me app, recharge any amount of airtime, whether that Lone Star or that orange, you stand a chance to win free airtime every week from now to the end of this year. Last week, my sister won airtime and she just called you all over the place.
Thank you for telling me, yeah. From now on, I'll be buying all my airtime and data through the Tip Me app, so my calling and browsing can finish.
Just making phone Tip Me. Okay, let me tell you what Tip Me now.
Radio Entertainment Liberia and Spoon FM 107.5 presents the Mika Daily Cash Splash. Yes, thousands of dollars are up for grabs, and all you need is your ear to listen and your MTN mobile money account to win. And plenty money they giving up. Just dial *799# and select Spoon FM and put in your bet. Each bet is $100 Liberian, and you can bet as many times as you want. The Hooper is every day. The ma will flow. It will flow. It will flow. From morning to night, the Spoon FM Mega Daily Cash Splash. Listen to your radio and winning ma. Nah, smart thing. Liberia just get better. Remember now, Radio Entertainment Liberia is licensed by the National Lottery Authority. For inquiry, 0887-400-044 or 0770-400-044. And the game is for 18 years and above.
Just making phone Tip Me.
Taddy boy, what's up?
Hey, Drew, I grew up.
Taddy boy, you know what they can say scratch card around here? I was just on the phone with my Oma and did my credit finish, and I can't even find anybody selling scratch card around here.
You said what? Scratch card? So fine, girl, are you still scratching with your fine fingernails? My girl, you rather sleeping, yo. You not know you can buy credit and did I run the Tip Me app?
I have the Tip Me app, but I don't know how to buy credit.
My girl, listen. Just tap on services at the bottom of the dashboard, then tap on mobile recharge, select your country, Liberia, because of Liberia we in. Enter your phone number, then tap verify to display orange or Lone Star, depending on which one you're subscribing with. Then tap browse plan, select the amount you want to put in, enter your PIN, boom, you finish. You can buy airtime and data just like that.
Boy, easy, that all there.
No, ma, wait, that's not all. This is the juicy part. The tipping people say on your Tip Me app, recharge any amount of airtime, whether that Lone Star or that orange, you stand a chance to win free airtime every week from now to the end of this year. Last week, my sister won airtime and she just called you all over the place.
Thank you for telling me, yeah. From now on, I'll be buying all my airtime and data through the Tip Me app, so my calling and browsing can finish.
Just making phone Tip Me. Okay, let me tell you what Tip Me now.
Okay, folks, welcome back. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're also live on our Facebook TV page. That is Spoon TV Live, and also on Super 95.5 FM, wherever it is you watching us from. We love to say you welcome back. All right, so we have in studio Madam Bendu Kromah She is a presidential aspirant here in Liberia. She's aspiring to lead this country, to take this country from the hands of President George Manenwia, and then lead Liberia into prosperity and a country that will be law-abiding and very, very, very secure and safe. Well, Madam Bendu Kromah is going to tell us all about herself, all about her presidential ambition, what she's got planned for Liberia, as well as who her running mate is and what's her platform, how she intends to tackle the issues of gender violence, gender inclusion, and everything else in between. Good morning to you, Chosen One. Thank you for taking up the time to be with us.
Diamond, you do shine like a diamond.
Thank you.
Just like the diamond that's being extracted from our soil. And I'm here wearing a fake one. I don't even got a real one. But thank you for having me back on this platform. This is a huge platform, and I'm very grateful. The last time I was here, when I left, I got a lot of phone calls, a lot of people talking to me, including some people that are telling me they're going to support me, and some people gave me some ideas and some painful scenarios they've had. But like I said earlier, my name is Bendu Kromah. I am the daughter of a father, a farmer, William Momo Kromah from Grand Cape Makante, and Jebe Fatmata Menemasa Kromah, also from Grand Cape Makante. My parents migrated to Bon County, where the Bon County people gave them 200 acres of land, and my dad used that as a farm. That farm, all of the children, all of the Kromah children, one way or the other, worked on that farm. So at a very tender age, we were engaged in the balance of trade for the Republic of Liberia. Rubber was one of our largest export. Not only that, I was a little girl in Banga. I used to gravitate the palm kernel sellers, the rice, the oil to our yard. Our yard was like a trade route in Banga, not far from Happy Land. So there I worked as a child, but very, very happy to have done all of those. Then my dad, seeing that the Muslims were just sending their children to go and read Quran and not learning English, he established the first English and Arabic school in the Republic of Liberia. If there is anyone older than the ones established for my dad, I need to know that so I can correct that. A lot of the ministers now that were Muslim passed through that. And my father, his oldest daughter is a Christian, Victoria. She was a Christian. The second one was a Christian. Some of all were balanced between both equations. Some were Muslims and all of that. But he was very open-minded. So I learned my ABCs and SSOs and GOGO at that English and Arabic school in Banga. That school is breaking down right now. And this chosen one is rebuilding that school. Then I moved on to Banga Methodist, William V. S. Tutman School, where school pride was justified. Our color was blue and gold. The late Vice President, Benny Warner, now Bishop Warner, was the principal of that school. I remember the day my dad took me to Benny Warner and said, Benny, I'm bringing my child to school. But Benny Warner, at the time, they had changed the entry age, I believe, from 5 to 6, said I was too young to enter. So convincingly, my dad told me, say the ABCs. I recited the ABCs. Says the 2-time table, I recited the 2-time table. But at the end of it all, I was enrolled in Banga Methodist. I stayed there until I got promoted to the 4th grade, and then moved on to the St. Martin Catholic School. Moved on to the St. Martin Catholic School, where you had the Reverend Father. At that school, a friend of mine called Maurice Ward, we were entrusted with all of the balls. The ball would pick it up and take it to the field, sign for it, but we also had a responsibility to take those balls back. All of the neighboring schools, the public school, the private school, Dolokan Warfare High School, Massaquoi School, Methodist School, everybody came at that location and we all played. The older girls, I can still remember some of their names in terms of Martha Gossin, Edith Gossin, all came and they played kickball with us. It was like one big family. We played there. But let me divert a little bit. When I was at the tender age of 4, in one of the deepest wells in Bong County, in our yard, this chosen one, Bendu Kromah, fell in that well. When I fell in that well, I landed in the water. I came up with no scratches on my skin. It felt like buoyancy. It almost felt like I was floating, but not a scratch was on my skin. The people
that alone in itself showed you that you had a divine purpose.
Absolutely. That's why I call myself the chosen one. You see, that's just one of the several reasons. But God, the people of Bong County, the spirit of Bong County, the soil of Bong County knew it was now my time to go. And I was saved. You know, my dad yelled my name through the ropes. We had a policeman called Basa, and everybody came around to take a look at this girl that fell in a well and had no scratches on her skin. From St. Martin's School, I went to Rick's Institute, a beautiful, beautiful school where I played on the kickball team. I was captain of the kickball team.
You can still play?
I got a skill, so I can still play on the kickball team. In our class, we have some of the best players in the whole Liberia. We're one of the top teams in Liberia we play. If I name all, it will go. This show will go beyond.
But Madam Kromah, you've given us an insight into you. I know you've also been serving the University of Liberia and the Alumni Association as well. But let's go into your political quest.
Okay.
Just yesterday, we saw an endorsement of over 40 plus lawmakers that decided to endorse the re-election bid of President Weah. And man, you'll be going after, you'll be contesting against come October 10th. Canadian nomination starts today, right? Yeah. When do you intend on doing your nomination?
Well, from here, I'm going to SKD where I'm going to get my package.
Okay.
There where we're getting all our packages. Some of those candidates that have endorsed Senator, that have endorsed the president, it is my opinion that they are doing it out of fear. And a lot of them will defect at the dying end of the day when they go to cast their vote. Watch my words. But I tell you, the motorcycle union president of Grand Jita called me and said, "Oh, ma'am, I'm for you." That's about 6,000 people. And those are people that are on my platform. You know, this is what he told me. He said, "Madam Kromah, you see us riding bike here, we want to do something else. Because when we get old, you're not going to be riding bike. So we want to be educated, we want trade, we want other things to do." And remember the last time I was on Spoon, I talked about my 5 geographic locations where centers are going to be built. I don't know if Bella Yala is still being occupied, but one of those centers can very well be in Bella Yala. Train all of those people, educate them, and reintegrate them back to the society. Because a lot of the people are doing it because they have no other means. They have no other means of survival. So that is their means of survival. So imagine you train them, you give them small business loan. And another thing, a lot of them don't even own their bikes. So you give them loans to own their own bikes. That would be astronomical. They don't own their own bikes, and they're driving for other people. Time comes, they just go and seize the bikes from them. There go their income. Or if we can empower the people with small loans for them, buy bikes for them to own it, even if they can't ride it, they can have their younger brothers or sisters or whoever to drive those bikes. And another thing I would like to do, we have major companies that have left Liberia. One of them left. They were supposed to hire about 40,000 farmers. But because the environment or the request or the demand on that company was so high, they had to fold up and leave. I would like to invite that company back because I can't think about a name right now, but I'm sure it will come in my head. Before they were in Grand Cape County. 40,000 employees, they pay your school fee, they have clinics for the students there. That's a lot. We need those kind of companies coming right back to Liberia. I was privileged to see Jetty Brothers opening that factory. I wish it were open long time ago when Liberia was the largest exporter of rubber.
You mean the rubber processing plant that is under construction in Magibi County?
Yes,
okay.
yes, okay. Yes. Because we were engaged in rubber a whole lot. We still have a rubber farm. Who knows? I mean, we may resuscitate the farm and start selling rubber to, in Magibi to help make some of the tires and stuff like that. But that is great. I mean, that's leaving from buying to production. And with that production, they will be able to hire more Liberians. We need such companies in Liberia. We need such companies because it's going to boost our economy. Our students need jobs. Imagine the University of Liberia will put out like 3,000 or more students every year. And those students get out on the field and have nothing to do.
What would your government do differently, as you said, to counter this particular issue of high unemployment rate in our country? We have a very, very high unemployment rate. The last time I checked, we have at close to 83% of our population unemployed. But with the onset now of social media, people that are going into entrepreneurship, sole proprietorship, and all of that, if you want to count that as employment, which they do, because once you got some sort of income or employment, it has dwindled down, but we're still about in the 80s thereabout. What is your government going to do differently that is going to decrease our own employment rate in this country, Madam Kromah?
If you invest heavily in the agricultural sector, not only planting but production, that will definitely increase the employment. But not only that, you see, it goes back to developing our infrastructure. You have the farm to market road have to be open, has to be accessible. The storage facilities, the freezers, electricity have to be constant. Maybe you can have a solar farm. A solar farm, especially during the dry season, will produce a lot of electricity instead of depending on electricity alone. So you have a massive solar farm, and we have the land space for that massive solar farm. I saw one in California, by the way, and they have several of them. Massive solar farm, so that we can have all-round electricity. That's one. That alone will help a whole lot. Then the agricultural sector alone can employ more than 100,000 persons the first year. I know I indicated the last time that I will have 300,000 employees the first year. Then I take all of my university students, empower them, give them small loans to start their own businesses. And those that are riding bikes, pay for their bikes, give them loan to buy their bike. Help the Marketeers Association. This thing, if you develop that 5 centers, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
You develop that 5 centers and create this humongous storage facility where those people that are producing all of these products, I mean, Lofa, Nima, and Bong have always been high producers. So get their products. I mean, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Get their products. Increase the planting production. Ghana right now is exporting planting. Let's increase the planting production. Plant cashew nuts, which is needed all over. Refine our products and do that. And then start making them to make small machines, small tools. You don't have to build cars, but you can build the small machines that are used in the cars and have global standards on those tools and sell it globally. A lot of iron ore or plane or whatever companies will come and have it manufactured right here. You see?
So, just to punctuate you, you have spoke about the issue of agriculture, and the issue of agriculture is very pivotal when it comes to sustaining a nation. But you cannot do that without a very good road connectivity, because we have people in other areas that are heavily involved in agriculture, but at the end of the day, that produce, spoil along the way. So what are you going to do in terms of road connectivities to actually bring those produce to town to have a connection with counties in terms of doing transaction of business?
The infrastructure includes the road construction. Without road construction, we need a farm to market road. We need to be able to bring the products anywhere in Lofa County, anywhere in Grand Gita. Right now on Facebook, one of the road is badly damaged. The people cannot move from point A to B. So everything you have to work hand in hand. It's not one fix. You have to fix everything, the road construction, the agriculture, the farm to market road. All of those things have to be developed, because when everything is developed and you have that storage facility, you have that solar farm that when the people cut their greens, it can be saved there for several months. I mean, in the US and other advanced part of the world, you go and buy frozen food. These sometimes is potatoes, sometimes is spinach. I've even seen cassava there, cassava leaf. Every shock one day when I had to buy my cassava leaf and cook my basajama. But you have all of those things there. So you see everything go in hand. Why the agriculture is going on, the production sites are being established. The ladies in the market are being, you go there and just buy all of the product. You don't even have to plant nowadays. You buy all the products from those women. You have some of them cutting it. You have some people packaging. You have some people freezing it. That alone will employ a whole lot of people. But one thing I want to do for our market women, after they have worked all day, I want them maybe 1 hour a day in those markets, have a school or something that will teach them how to read the ABCD. And I tell you this, when my mother visited me in California, my dad is educated, but my mother never went to school. I took my mother, she was in her maybe late 50s or early 60s, to a nice school over there for her to learn her ABC. The joy I saw on my mother's face, I want to see that in all of the market women face. I have never been to school. So not only you selling your greens, they're buying it, maybe 1 hour a day, you have that classroom and you there learning the ABC. You suffer so much. You suffer so much to send your children to school. You suffer so much to make sure your children are okay. So we have to give back. We have to give back. For the mere fact that they're seeing those A, B, C, D and stuff like that, they may not be even able to read. You know, mother used to say A, B, you know, hardly pronouncing it correctly, but she felt great.
And that is very important. But there are some serious issues in our country. It has to do with the issue of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And a government that is not willing to fight corruption, that government is doomed to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots of people who come to government with the intention of accumulating wealth for themselves. So what are some of those strategies will you employ as the head of state, if you are elected, to minimize corruption, if not abolishing corruption?
Okay, I know whereas it's difficult to completely eradicate corruption, our corruption perception index in Liberia is very high. The last one I checked on the World Bank report, it was around 26%. That is very, very high. So what I will do, what corrupt people, you have to bring them to justice. But that entails strengthening our judicial system. You don't put a slap on the wrist for those people, because it's not going to be a recycle. You corrupt, you will be caught, you will be punished. Everything you took from Liberia will be stripped away from you. So those will be one of the ideas. And then another thing we could do, we could have, eye on all of those people. We could have a hotline where fraud is reported. Fraud hotline anonymously. So we don't even know who's reporting. But when we catch you, you will be in a serious trouble. You will lose your job. Everything that you took will be taken back from you. So that's going to be in our system. Our police will be strengthened. Our security apparatus will be strengthened. So all of those people, their eyes will be on the corruption. Neighborhood watch program. So you really have to resolve this corruption issue. This small thing is, to me, it's also corruption. You see? So you have to do all of that. We can't let these people go like that. These people are damaging our society. These government officials that are giving all contracts and backdoor going to those companies to collect small things, they are damaging this economy. Get all of those damaged goods and take them out. I call them damaged goods at this time and take them out. You don't need to be recycling. As soon as another government comes, they rush. They're like chicken rush into the rice when you throw it in. But you have to move all